Do you remember when dinner wasn't rushed? When you could smell supper before the sun went down and the whole house just slowed down? Tonight, we're going back to the 1950s to remember 10 forgotten dinners, the kind that filled plates and quietly held families together. And wait until you hear number 7. Most people don't even remember it existed, but back then, it could make a whole kitchen feel like home. Number 1, pot roast. Pot roast wasn't just supper. It was something you could count on. You knew it the moment you opened the front door. That smell, beef, onions, and carrots, sitting in the oven all afternoon. It made the whole house feel settled. Back in the 1950s, pot roast was how folks made things work. A cheaper cut of meat went into the oven early, and by dinner time, it was so tender you barely needed a knife. No one hurried it. Mothers knew better than that. Good food took time. The meat soaked up every bit of flavor, and the vegetables got soft and sweet in the juices. This was Sunday food, company food, the kind of meal that brought everyone to the table without having to call them twice. And for a lot of families, pot roast wasn't only about eating. It meant there would be enough food, enough warmth, enough to get through the day. Number 2, green bean casserole. Green bean casserole meant the table was filling up. You could hear it when that dish slid into the oven. Back in the 1950s, this was the side dish you made when it mattered. Holidays, church dinners, Sundays, when a few extra chairs were pulled in. The smell was soft and familiar. Green beans, creamy mushroom sauce, and that warm topping browning on top. Nothing fancy, nothing showy, just comfort. It wasn't the kind of dish that tried to steal the spotlight. It didn't have to. It belonged there, passed down the table, one spoonful after another. For a lot of families, this casserole wasn't really about vegetables. It was about tradition, about knowing some things stayed the same, even when everything else was changing. And even now, one bite can take you right back to a busy kitchen and a table surrounded by familiar faces. Number 3, tuna salad. Tuna salad was quite a food. No stove, no oven, just something cool and simple when the day felt long. Back in the 1950s, this was the answer on warm afternoons, when the kitchen was already hot and nobody wanted another pot on the burner. You could hear the can open, then the soft sound of a fork tapping the bowl. Chopped celery for a little crunch, just enough mayonnaise to hold it all together. The taste was clean and familiar, creamy but not heavy, plain but filling. For a lot of families, tuna salad meant lunch at the table. Sometimes supper on white bread, sometimes spooned onto lettuce when someone said they were watching their figure. It wasn't fancy food, it wasn't company food, but it showed up when you needed it, and back then, being dependable meant everything. Number 4, tomato soup. Some dinners didn't start in the oven. They started with a small pot on the stove and a quiet house. Tomato soup was the meal you made when someone wasn't feeling well, when school had run long, when money was tight, or time was even tighter. It warmed slowly on the burner, turning smooth and red, sometimes mixed with water, sometimes with milk if the week had been a good one. A little butter was stirred in, maybe a pinch of sugar to take the sharp edge off. The smell was gentle, not strong, not heavy, just warm enough to settle you down. Back in the 1950s, tomato soup wasn't made to impress. It was made to comfort, served with crackers or alongside a grilled cheese cut straight down the middle. You didn't rush it, you sipped, you dipped, and for a few quiet minutes, everything felt manageable again. Number 5, scalloped potatoes. Scalloped potatoes weren't something you made every day. They meant something special was happening. You didn't rush this dish. You took your time. Potatoes sliced thin, one at a time, carefully stacked in a deep baking dish. As it baked, the kitchen filled with that creamy smell. Milk, butter, and potatoes are slowly turning into something richer. The top is turning golden, the edges are bubbling just enough. Back in the 1950s, scalloped potatoes usually showed up when company came, next to a ham at Easter, besides a roast on Sunday afternoon. This was the dish that made people stop for a second, just to take in the smell before the first bite. Tender layers, creamy in the middle, a little crisp on top. It wasn't fancy food, but it was generous. The kind of dish that said, "You're welcome here, stay a while." Number 6, pan-fried pork chops. You always knew pork chops were on the menu before you even saw the table. That sizzle told you everything you needed to know. A hot skillet, butter, or bacon grease popping just enough. The smell fills the kitchen in seconds. Back in the 1950s, pork chops were a regular sight. Affordable, filling, reliable. There was no need for fancy seasonings, just salt, just pepper, and knowing when to leave them alone. Flip them too much, and they'd turn tough. Let them be, and they stayed juicy. Golden on the outside, tender on the inside. These chops showed up on busy weeknights, school days, work days, the kind of dinner that didn't need any explanation. You sat down, you ate, and you felt full in the best way. Simple food, done right. Number 7, cream of wheat or oatmeal. This wasn't dinner food, this was morning food, the kind you ate while the house was still half asleep. Back in the 1950s, morning started slow. A small pot on the stove, milk warming, steam is rising quietly. Cream of wheat, or oatmeal, depending on the house, stirred gently so it wouldn't lump, cooked just right. Not too thin, not too thick. The smell was soft, comforting. A little sweet once the sugar or brown sugar went in. Butter melting on top, making a golden pool in the middle. This was cold weather food. School day fuel, the kind of breakfast that sticks with you until lunchtime. You ate it warm, spoon by spoon. And even before the day really started, you already felt taken care of. Number 8, ham steak with pineapple. There was a time when this felt fancy, really fancy. Back in the 1950s, ham steak with pineapple meant you were trying something new, something modern, something a little exciting for a weeknight dinner. The ham hit the pan first, thick, salty, already sizzling before you even turned around. Then came the pineapple rings, sweet juice bubbling in the skillet. Edges are starting to caramelize in the ham drippings. The smell was different from your everyday cooking. Sweet and savory together. A little unexpected. This dish showed up when families wanted a change. When the table needed something cheerful. When dinner was meant to feel special but didn't take much work. Kids loved the sweetness. Adults liked that it felt new. It was the 1950s in one plate, hopeful, simple, and just a little adventurous. Number 9, liver and onions. This was the dinner you didn't argue about. You ate it because it was there. Back in the 1950s, liver and onions meant practicality, pure and simple. Liver was cheap, it was filling, and everyone knew it was good for you, whether you liked it or not. The onions went into the pan first, slowly cooked until they turned soft and sweet. Then came the liver. Thin slices, cooked fast. Too long, and it was ruined. Just right, and it stayed tender. The smell was strong. There was no pretending otherwise. You knew exactly what was for dinner the moment you walked in. This meal came from harder times, from a mindset that said food wasn't wasted, and complaints didn't change what was on the plate. Some people grew to love it. Some never did. But almost everyone remembers it. Because liver and onions weren't about comfort, it was about getting through. And for a lot of families, that was enough. Number 10. Apple Brown Betty. Apple Brown Betty didn't try to be fancy. It didn't need to. Back in the 1950s, this dessert came from knowing how to use what you had. Day-old bread, a few apples, butter, cinnamon, and brown sugar. As it baked, the house filled with a smell that felt like safety. Sweet apples are softening, sugar melting, the top is turning just crisp enough. It came out of the oven warm and humble, not perfect, not pretty, but deeply comforting. This was dessert for regular nights, for families who didn't waste food, for kitchens where something sweet meant care, not luxury. Spoons went in while it was still hot, sometimes with milk, sometimes with cream, if there was any, and no one rushed it. Apple Brown Betty wasn't about impressing guests. It was about ending the day gently, with something warm, something familiar. And for a lot of families, that was more than enough. These dinners were never just about food. They were about getting by, about sitting down together, about knowing tomorrow would come, no matter what. And even now, those flavors still remind us, even if the world has moved on.